So I chased my outfit all the way. Said, where you want? I wanted to back to my own outfit. So I chased him. I chased that outfit all over France. Must have been about 2 weeks.
When did you meet up with him again? Was it around the
It was around Thanksgiving, around Christmas.
Around Christmas time?
Christmas, New Year, somewhere around there. And hadn't made a rush up from Nancy, France to Bastogne.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I was chased, because I couldn't catch up with him. And he, but it was a guy from the platoon I took over after a while. He had, let's see, let me think here. Yeah, they were going in there, and a guy from my platoon had contacted, we were the first one to contact the 134th Airborne.
Yeah.
There one time it seemed like we fighting a war from 9 to 5. We started out at 9 o'clock in the morning, chasing German. They would stop at 5 o'clock, and we'd fight for an hour or so, and then we'd take over some houses, and we'd spend the night. Next morning they'd take off, and we'd take off afterwards again.
You're talking about the canals, and you're talking about this lieutenant that you knew for a while.
Oh, yeah. He was a squad leader.
Yeah.
And he took the battlefield commission.
Yeah.
And he was second lieutenant. They came up, and he had got wounded, and he came back, and they put him platoon commander in my platoon.
Yeah.
And so all of a sudden we got volunteers for all. We would attack platoon all the time. I mean, anytime we jumped off, we were just 1 or 2 assaulting platoons all the time.
Well, now what were you, the first platoon or second platoon?
I was second platoon. I got the second platoon because we had gone into this. I went to this kid, and I kept him right up, and he was doing good.
Uh-huh.
He had a lot of knowledge. He taught me a whole lot, and I stayed right with him. And so we've been in this attack this day, and we came up against a road, high road, and the bank rolled up way above the field.
Mm-hmm.
And on one side they had a German Tiger tank there. And he was shooting those across the top of the road, but he was firing ball ammunition.
Yeah.
And all that ammunition was doing is just hitting a tree and going through it. But if that shell had exploded, went in all different directions, he would have got us. But that's all he had. So
he was shooting anti-tank weapons, because that's what they'd shoot at another tank.
Yeah. To
pierce a hole and pierce a hull.
Yeah. And so we fought. I lost in this second platoon. They were advancing. We were on the left, and they were on the right. And so their platoon sergeant had got wounded. And so when they were without a platoon sergeant, so when we hit this road, they'd have piled in with us. So I had 2 platoons
mm-hmm.
Right up against the road there. So when the captain called me up, and he told me, he said, you pull your platoons back to a certain area, and said, we'll chase him out there for artillery fire. You know what they do, they'd fire artillery on it and chase him out. They did. They chased him down the road done and cornered in the farm building down there. And they blew him all to pieces.